Well, we said at halftime, we had three things on the board that were keys. Turnovers can take care of the basketball, ball toughness, obviously defensive field goal percentage, and offensive rebounds. We knew, you can't let them beat you up on the offensive glass, and you can't let them turn you over. So at halftime, we had 6 turnovers. We were holding to 34% from the floor, and I think they had 9 offensive rebounds. I told the team if we fixed our rebounding issues and we kept the other 2 stats in that neighborhood, we had a chance to win the game. Well, they went and got 24 offensive rebounds, and that was the difference in the game. The points they scored, second chance points, 24-10 there. I thought that was a big difference, but and most of them in the paint. So 36 points in the paint. Reddick was great. As a veteran front court guy, he's very efficient in everything that he does. As always, you come out of halftime and you always talk to the team about the first 5 minutes. You got to match your intensity, you got to match their toughness, and we didn't do that. And that's why they're, where they are right now and where we are. So we got one day to prepare for a good LaSalle team that's coming off of a win. And, NBA practice tomorrow. We'll go for about an hour and just do more preparation, mind work than leg work. And go into Saturday's game with some fresh minds and fresh legs and fresh minds, hopefully. See if we can get one at home. Disappointed in the crowd. I thought we'd get a better crowd for VCU tonight. I think people would want to come and see this team. They were in the Final Four a few years ago. So, that's that. It's a grind. I think I think they're a gritty team, and we're not right now, and that's our biggest problem. I think I thought we would get some grit from our front court guys, but they're just it's not happening right now. So we have to find that if we're going to find another couple of wins.
Energy and confidence was there in the first half, and then it seemed like first 5 minutes, second half, and then it just went boom, wasn't even there.
Well, that's residue of losing. You know what I mean? Teams that win find ways to win. Teams that lose, they know how to lose. And as fired up as I try to get them and as gritty as I want them to be, you see heads go down, especially when they make mistakes, because they care. If they didn't care, their heads wouldn't even go down. They'd be running around and saying, "Well, another night at the office." But they're trying, and they're just not making those plays. I mean, I think we had, Brian Smith had 5 turnovers. I mean, you're playing small, so that doesn't happen. And that's the first game this year where he's had issues doing that. Now, part of that is that the guards weren't doing a good enough job freeing themselves. They weren't being physical enough freeing themselves in the backcourt. And in turn, Brian was stuck on an island on a couple of occasions trying to get the ball on. But, you look at those 5 and Travion Leonard's 2 when we had him playing at the 4, and that's half of our turnovers. And that's their game plan. They weigh you down. They try to get you in the late rounds.
Coach talked about raising the level of effort for 40 minutes. Was that more the issue, or was it more?
Oh, without a doubt. And I think that's been an issue for us throughout the season. I mean, we've had guys play hard, but not, there's been 2 issues, major issues, I think, in my mind. One has been getting that kind of team effort for 40 minutes consistently. You know what I mean? We've had a couple games where we've gotten it. Obviously, early in the year, we're winning some games because of it. But we haven't gotten that, and our offensive field goal percentage. Once again, I'll watch this tape twice tonight, and I do a shot chart, and I mean we got some really good looks. And if you're going to beat VCU, you got to make those shots. You got to knock them down. We beat their pressure. We got some great threes, wide open threes for some of our guys, and we couldn't knock them down. We shoot 5 of 18 from 3. It's just. That can't happen. Brian doesn't make one, and John's 2 for 7, and they didn't take a lot of real tough contested threes. They had pretty good looks at it. So those have been our 2 Achilles heels.
Talk about Sevilla for the season.
Oh, he's been up and down, but he's a freshman, so you're not going to depend on freshmen no matter who they are. And I've had great ones. It's very hard to depend on freshmen to carry you through a season. So his freshman year has been a bit of a roller coaster, as you've seen. One night he gets 28, the next night he gets 8. But one of the reasons for that is the veterans are going through similar seasons. We're not getting that consistent. Frage was early in the year, but he's faded, and Brian Smith has been up and down his entire career. Mandel Thomas has been up and down. Mandel had a good first half. by the end of the half, you know, about 5 minutes left, he looked gassed. You know, he looked gassed. But so he's been up and down, and that's it. But you know, look, John's going to be a fine player here, but it's going to take time. It's hard when you have one senior trying to teach a bunch of young guys how to do things, as compared to when you have a veteran crew and you have 3 seniors and 3 juniors, and they're kind of weaning the young guys. You know what I mean? And that's where we got to get this program. We got to get veteran players playing well.
Talk about Frazier a little bit.
Frazier's, look, he's our lone senior. He plays large minutes, but you know, once again, 1 assist, 4 turnovers. He's a senior. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable for anyone, but especially for a senior. And his erratic intensity is something I talk to him about all the time. He can't let that happen. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Can't get 3 in a row. You're not allowed.
touching up on that, Tom. 2 more regular season games next week and then Saturday, so 3 more, and then the tournament. Just reflect on how much Brandon has done for this program, turning it around. Came in with you, was going to play with you no matter what. How much has he meant to you?
Well, he's special in that sense. He was going to come to Hofstra and play for us there, and he came with me, so I appreciate that. I feel bad that he's kind of Butch without Sundance. You know, if we had had another guy in that class that really progressed like he did, we would have turned this thing around. Everything, you know, we're doing everything here except winning. You know, I mean, look where we're sitting. We've come a long way in 3 years. So obviously the last step in the process, and what I get paid for, is winning basketball games, and that's what's got to happen as we move forward. But Brandon is going to end up being in the top 10 in scoring, in the top 3 maybe in assists, or 5 in assists here. And it's I know he would give all of that away to be able to say he was here and he helped us turn it around again and have a winning season. But I appreciate everything he's done. But I'm his coach. I want more out of him. I know the potential he has. I know how good he could be, and that's why I continue to drive and push him. You know, players sometimes say, "Oh, I can't wait till I'm a senior," until they are seniors, and then they realize the pressure that's put on them and what's expected of seniors. And I'm on Brandon a lot about a lot of things on and off the court, and that comes with being a senior and being a captain on our team.
Each of the past 3 seasons, 2 seasons rather, you've won 3 A-10 games. Do you place any stock in equaling that total?
No, I mean, the A-10's better now than it's ever been. You know, one of the issues is since we've been in the league, every year the A-10 just keeps getting better and better. And we're trying to leapfrog people, and you know, we haven't been capable of doing that, and it's an arms race. You know, you can't get caught up in hard numbers. Everyone plays. I think someone told me the other day, when you look at the RPIs and the power rankings and who's in what spot, we played the toughest in-conference schedule. So, you know, and that's tough when you look at tiebreakers, when you look at 2 wins, 3 wins, 4 wins, and all of that kind of stuff. As a coach, I look at my team and I look at their performance, whether we win or whether we lose. I mean, we played pretty well. Like we lost to Richmond here in a game we should have won. But I was proud of our effort. I wasn't proud of the way we closed that game. At VCU, I thought we played pretty darn well. And if we had given that kind of effort in some of the other games, we would have picked up wins earlier in the year. So I really just look at the performance of it. And when we do turn the corner and when the talent level rises, then those will turn into victories for us.
Talk about playing in the A-10 tournament over in the Barclays Center.
Yeah, well, it'll be great for us, obviously. Look, this is a big-time league. It's the 6th-ranked conference in America. We're going to get 5 teams in the NCAA tournament. Every big-time league invites everyone to the tournament. That's the way it should be. Next year when we're at 14 and Davidson joins us, we'll all be there. You know, I still want to battle and not play on Wednesday night, and I've told those guys that. That would be a good achievement for this team. And for the sake of the league, I want to be playing on Thursday because I think it would be good for the league and to stir up some information, some excitement, more excitement for the tournament. And I've been down this road. My first year at Hofstra, we went into the tournament, the CAA tournament, and we knocked off George Mason, who I think was the 1 or the 2 seed in that tournament. And all of a sudden, the world changes because, you know, the pressure's on your opponent. But we've got to get 3 guys having a big game. Saturday, and then Wednesday at Rhodey, which could be a huge game. You guys might know the tie-breaking process better than me. But if we can go win at Rhodey and we both end up with 3 wins, but then Mason's got 3, and God knows you're going to look at things, and then you play an unbalanced schedule, and You know, so who knows how it all plays out. But I mean, I haven't lost my grit, I haven't lost my competitive nature, and I still think that if these guys can get their minds right, we can do this.
Coach, talk about the play of Brian Canty off the bench.
Better, live body. You know, he's giving us that energy, and we're not getting that now from Rooms and Leonard as much. You know, foul trouble has been it, but Canty, you know, Canty's, he didn't defend the post well. He was playing behind Reddick, but he rebounds the basketball, he blocks shots, so he gives us another dimension. So right now, I don't believe he's the problem. I think it's good that he's around. Now, not having him for that stretch in the middle of the year didn't help the process any, but you know, that's life in a big city. That's just like having somebody injured, so you just deal. But you know, he's playing with great energy right now.
Coach, what's the message to the team with 3 games left to close out the season? What are you trying to tell them?
I told them, man up. I tell them all the time, you know what, guys, this isn't the worst thing that's going to happen to you in your life, losing basketball games. Your parents are going to die, you're going to have friends who die, you're going to deal with real life issues, health issues, things like that. This is a college basketball game. But play like a man. Don't play like a little boy, and if you're not ready to come out and compete, stay in your dorm room. And that's been my message to them for a long time. Some of them are responding, but they kind of get overshadowed by a few that aren't. And that's an issue, and that's a postseason issue that I'll address. But that's the bottom line, guys. You go out and you compete. You know? I mean, they're 20-year-old men. They could be on the side of a mountain in Afghanistan. You complaining about playing basketball? You know, you could have this worse stuff going on in this world than college basketball. So come out and practice your ass off every day and play your ass off every opportunity you get to step on the court.
Coach, talk about the losing and how that affects the guys. How about within a game when things start to turn?
Well, that's why I burn timeouts. You know, you see that. I burn one sometimes just for body language. I'll see 3 guys put their head down, boom, timeout, get them over here, pump them up, you know. And once again, that's the difference between being a young man and being a grown man. You know, I can stay focused. My staff and I are best when things are worst. And that's why I know they're good guys and we have a good staff. Because when things are worse, we rally around each other and we make sure we push each other to do the right thing and to get better. And that's what we need this young team to do. They got to start rallying around each other and pushing each other to get better. Cool?
Thanks.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate everything. Thanks.